Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. A quick warning before we begin. Today's main story has to do with an eating disorder. So if that is a topic that makes you uncomfortable, you can always skip the first story. Now let's get started. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole and it's by user NoAlternative3280. Am I the a-hole for being shocked and hurt that my girlfriend broke up with me because I ate a donut and failed 75 hard? Hey Reddit, I'm in a state of complete confusion and devastation right now and really need your help. I, 27 male, have been dating my girlfriend Layla, 24 female, for a year. She's obsessed with fitness. Her diet is so extreme that her body fat is practically non-existent, only 9%. And she's developed what I can only describe as orthorexic tendencies, obsessed with cleanliness and perfection in every aspect of her life. Yes, she looks healthy since she has visible muscles, but her hair is falling out. She has very low sex drive and energy, and her blood work always shows multiple vitamin deficiencies. I've pointed out that what she's doing is unhealthy and extreme, but she got super mad, yelled that I'm encouraging gluttony and hedonism. She's usually a really calm person, but food seems to make her unreasonably angry. I'm a casual gym goer as well, and I try to eat just as healthy and work out, with rest days unlike her. I weigh a healthy weight, have a decent amount of strength, and I'm fine with that. She seems to get really upset with me when I miss a day at the gym though. Recently, she saw this trend of people doing 75 hard on TikTok and told me that we should try it together. It seemed like a fun challenge, so I agreed, but I wasn't too keen on necessarily finishing it. I just wanted to try the lifestyle out. Side note, for those of you who don't know what 75 Hard is, it is a program that consists on following a diet, complete 2 45-minute workouts a day, take a progress picture, drink 1 gallon of water a day, read 10 pages of a book. And you need to do all of this for 75 consecutive days without cheating. So, last week, after a particularly stressful day at work, I decided to indulge in a donut. It was a small treat, and I knew it wasn't in line with Layla's program, but it felt like a minor concession given how much stress I'd been under. Suddenly, she walked into the room and saw me eating the donut. She was beyond furious, saying that my lack of discipline was an outright betrayal of her commitment. She accused me of being disrespectful and selfish, claiming that my failure was utterly pathetic, calling me weak and pitiful. Layla's anger was explosive and aggressive. She yelled at me, saying things like, "You're so weak, you're bringing me down," or "I'm disgusted with you, how could you do this to me or to yourself?" The argument escalated quickly. She accused me of not being worthy of her dedication to fitness and said I was clearly not committed to a healthy lifestyle. She told me that if I couldn't follow her standards, she couldn't be with me. The breakup was dramatic and chaotic, with her slamming doors and storming off while shouting about how I disgusted her with my lack of willpower. I've never been this ashamed of eating something. I'm feeling crushed. I didn't think that eating a single donut would lead to such a dramatic end, and her extreme reaction and aggressive behavior have left me questioning if I was really in the wrong. Am I just lazy, hedonistic, and undeserving like she said? Wow, no, OP, not even close to being an a-hole, hedonistic, lazy, or any of the adjectives that she put on you. Your ex-girlfriend doesn't have issues with you. She's got an eating disorder probably, and she's got issues with food in general, I'd say. I mean, if she's so obsessed with being healthy, having only a 9% body fat, yeah, that's not healthy. And it is actually considered dangerously low. You also mentioned that her blood work showed she had vitamin deficiencies, another indicator that she isn't taking care of herself. Additionally, the fact that 1 donut triggered her like this, to the point that she was calling you a failure, that you were weak and pitiful, that she's disgusted with you, and how could you do this to her? That tells me that there's something deeper at play here. Now, moving forward, you've got 2 choices. You can take the breakup and walk away, or you could try to talk to her, not necessarily to get back together, but because she's gonna need some help. And of course, it's gonna be up to her to want to get it or not. And what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's check out the community comments. Lafitte 1812 says, she has an eating disorder, man, and instead of addressing her own difficulties, she's been foisting her insecurities onto you. The issue isn't the donut, it's her. 9th Street Angel says, take it from someone who struggled for years with an eating disorder. This is a classic eating disorder, right down to the obsessive cleanliness and compulsive issues. I'm sure she makes a food log of everything she eats. I can tell you how many random irrational fights I had with my partner at the height of my anorexia, mostly about food or exercise. Don't worry about having kids with her, she's unlikely to have had a period in years. I finally started working on it seriously when the cartilage in my joints started breaking down enough it was causing nerve damage. I didn't look terribly sick, but my body was breaking down. Most people thought I looked decently good actually, but I was literally painfully thin. The obsession around control of food and exercise was all-consuming, so you are definitely not the a-hole, but she does need help. This will kill her eventually. That said, you are unlikely to be able to convince her that she needs help, and she will fight anyone who tries. It took me really realizing that it was going to kill me before I tried to make steps to change. And I might not have done it then, but my sister beat cancer, and the thought of leaving her and my partner alone from something I could try to stop made me actually try to stop. It still took me several years to come anywhere close to recovering, but I did eventually. I hope you both do well, and I wish I had better advice to help. And Opie responds, you guessed the food log correctly. She tracks every single bite, weighs it out, and writes it down in her notes. I also noticed that she has a list of foods she would eat if calories didn't exist. It's a list on her phone. Even though she acts irrationally sometimes, I still love her a lot, and I wish I could help her somehow, but I have no clue on what to do. She used to get so angry whenever I tried discussing her issues. I just hope that she'll realize that she needs to stop this on her own, cause I'm really worried. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I will possibly never understand how hard it is, but I'm glad that you decided to recover eventually. And Trailsia says, not the a-hole. Her clear issues are not your responsibility. This is way crazy. And yeah, seems like the breakup is the best thing for you, so you can do something more fun with your life than living under her dictatorship. Also, pretty sure that little body fat is not healthy. So the community agrees that Opie is not the a-hole and that Opie's ex-girlfriend does have an issue that she needs help with, but maybe it's not Opie the one who's able to help. Now, Opie has given us 3 updates, so let's move on with the first 2 and then we'll go to the final update. Update number 1. Her only friend just called me from a hospital. Me and her haven't spoken since she left, and it turns out she stopped eating and started excessive daily runs. The friend told me that she ran 40 miles and had a heart attack. He called because he thought that she seemed really stressed over the breakup, and I think I'm gonna visit her now. Should I? I'm just concerned for her, but also can't take her back if she continues to indulge in this healthy behavior. Update number 2. I visited her and we had a long talk. She apologized to me over and over again and cried, saying that she didn't mean to hurt me and was just looking out for me. For the first time ever, she opened up to me about her issues. She said that she ate this way and worked out this much because it gave her a sense of control. She also felt like if she rejected hedonism, she considers eating hedonistic, the universe would reward her and things would be okay. On the flip side, if she ate more, the universe would punish her and something bad would happen. I found this concept really strange, but as many of you said, she does have an eating disorder, so I wouldn't get it. Layla also confessed that she was actually diagnosed with anorexia as a preteen. Her parents divorced and she was left with her father, who had a really bad binge eating problem apparently. He became almost immobile from weight gain, and at a young age, Layla had to take up a lot of responsibilities. She was bullied at school and would come back to her father binging. The entire house filled with food wrappers and dishes piled up in the sink. She said that the fact that food did this to her father made her despise it to the point where she stopped eating. She even tried putting her dad on diets, but he would get angry at first and binge after. She said that she felt hopeless. When her dad died, it became even worse. She told me more about her only friend too. Apparently, they met on an anorexia forum somewhere around this time. After she got hospitalized, she was forced to gain weight, but mentally, she never recovered. So her and her friend decided to get into fitness and cope this way. They both thought that they could just eat enough to live and go on with life, but it got out of control, as you see. Layla is not doing good, obviously, but neither is her friend. He is severely underweight again and struggling. So now, she told me that she decided to try recovery again, except consulting a professional this time. Her friend is planning on recovery too, so maybe that'll help her a bit. We decided to get back together now, and I'll try to help her through this. Alright, so now we understand a little bit more about why Layla has her eating disorder and the trauma that she's going through right now. But the good thing is that she wants to do something about it, and OP is going to be there to help her out. So now let's move on to the final update to see how the story ends. Just wanna update you all about the treatment, and I'll respond to some comments. After our long talk and Layla's emotional confession about her past, it became clearer to me how deep her struggles were. This behavior has been her way of coping with trauma and attempting to regain control over her life. So it's gonna be hard for her to give it up. She says that she doesn't even know what normal eating looks like really. It could possibly take years to unlearn her way of thinking. Now, I'm relieved to share that Layla and her friend have both decided to seek intensive inpatient care for their eating disorders. Her breakdown and subsequent hospitalization after our breakup was a real wake-up call. The treatment program they're entering is designed specifically for individuals with severe eating disorders. It will involve medical supervision, psychological therapy, and structured meal plans. It's dangerous to just start eating normally abruptly after years of anorexic behavior, since they're both at risk of refeeding syndrome. According to her doctors, inpatient care will last anywhere from several weeks to a few months, depending on her progress. Even after that, she'll need extensive outpatient therapy and possibly nutritional counseling for years. Layla is going to have to address her psychological traumas and her core beliefs about worth and control. The process isn't linear, and there will likely be setbacks, but this time, she's determined to get help. Her friend is also entering the same program, which I believe will give them both a sense of support as they heal together. As for me, I'm committed to supporting Layla through this process, but I also know that I need to maintain boundaries and take care of myself. I can't fix her, and she knows that too. Recovery is something she'll have to work on every day, and I'm here to cheer her on without enabling her harmful behaviors. I'm grateful for everyone's advice and insight. It's helped me realize that her behavior wasn't about me, but about her long-standing struggles with food and control. Thank you all for your support. Most of you have told me to leave her right now, but I genuinely don't want to. I can't leave a person just because they yelled at me a few times. Obviously, if this behavior becomes a frequent thing, which I doubt, we probably will break up again. But for now, I just want to support her through recovery. I'm aware that this isn't going to be easy, but I'm ready. I know this is not what I have to do, I just want to. Well, OP, I think this is a positive update. The most important part to me is that she is determined to get help. So this isn't something that you're pushing her to or anything like that. She wants it. So on that note, here's wishing all three of you, Layla, her friend, and yourself, the best in the future. Take care and thanks for sharing. And now let's finish this video. And now let's move on to the mood booster post that also has an update. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge and it's by user RileyJW90. Bought an alarm to go off whenever someone leaves the baby gate open. I'm cackling right now. My teenager and husband are constantly leaving the baby gates I have installed on the stairs and door to the mudroom open. The dog will then go into the mudroom and eat the cat litter, or she'll pee on the carpeted landing, or go up to our room to get into our trash or the diaper pail. It drives me bananas. Making them clean it up doesn't seem to deter them from constantly forgetting to shut the gates. My teenager maintains that they don't leave the gate open. So I bought one of those window alarms that has a separate magnet and then the main unit. So when you separate them, it alarms that the window is open. You can put these things just about anywhere, such as doors, fridge or freezer, cabinets, etc. You can also set a delay, which is what I did, so it isn't alarming just from when someone walking through. Currently upstairs with the toddler for a nap and heard the teenager go down the stairs. And 30 seconds later, the alarm starts going off. I sent them laughing face emojis and they just say, "Die." I responded with a kissy face and offered to turn it up louder if they'd like me to. But I'm sitting here trying not to wake up the baby from laughing. I didn't tell my husband I bought these alarms, so I can't wait for him to come home and find out about them too. Laughing emoji. OP's edit. For those saying that timers should be shorter, I agree. I just don't have another option. There are 3 settings. 0 seconds delay and the alarm plays every 5 seconds. 30 seconds delay and the alarm plays every 20 seconds. Or 0 delays and the alarm plays continuously. Other alarms I was looking at had similar options. This is just the one that was cost effective. Came in a 2-pack and could get here within a day. Husband is home but hasn't gone upstairs or through the mudroom yet. He usually skips the mudroom and comes inside through the sliding doors. It's almost toddler bath time, so I'm sure it'll happen soon. OP's update. Husband did indeed leave the gate open. He made it back over to the stove where he had the loud fans on, so he didn't immediately hear the alarm. Everyone else heard it and I said, "Who left the gate open?" My middle child immediately gave up my husband and said, "He did it." My husband said, "It wasn't me." And she fired back at him that he just came down the stairs and it was definitely him. Then the alarm went off again and he said, "What is that?" And then, "Really, babe?" Before rolling his eyes and marching over to fix the gate. Everyone got a pretty good laugh about it. I'll have to give it a trial run and see how well it deters them from leaving it open in the future. OP's edit. I keep getting comments about training my dog. Thanks for the concern, but she only pees in that one spot. It's a muscle memory thing because we have scrubbed, steamed, painted, and replaced carpet and underlayment, and she will still squat there and only there, nowhere else in the house. As for her getting into diapers and socks and underwear, we've worked with her vet about the possibility of doing medications, but ultimately have been told it's largely a dog thing. Some dogs don't care much for poop and other body odors, and some can't get enough of them. She will only go for the poop diapers, so she seems to be driven by the same urge she gets when she goes after the cat litter. We've been told we can put her on essentially doggy Prozac, or we can just keep those things out of her reach. I don't want to put her on meds if we can help it, so this is our solution right now. If it proves ineffective in the future, or she starts getting into other stuff, we will revisit the behavioral stuff with the vet. Also keep getting told to get a spring-loaded gate. They are spring-loaded. The issue is that all of these auto-close gates also have a feature where being pushed open to 90 degrees causes it to stay open and disable the auto-close until it gets nudged enough to come out of the open setting. OP's final update. I worked nights all weekend and slept during most of the day, Saturday and Sunday. Throughout that time, I heard the gate alarms go off frequently. The teenagers stayed in their room most of the time, so it was definitely my husband setting it off the majority of the time. I haven't rubbed it in his face yet. He knows that I know that he's aware he's the problem. To his credit, he hasn't complained about it, at least not to my face, though I did hear him say, "Oh god damn it," once before going back to shut the gate. Neither he nor the teenager have decided to just flip the off switch on the side, so at least they're going along with it. The teenager is much more vocal about their hatred of the alarm, said it's a very overstimulating sound, to which I said, "Then I guess you'd better shut the gate, eh?" They're proving to be much more trainable than my husband, but hopefully with a few more weeks of Pavloving him, he'll just do it automatically. Thanks for all the comments, I got a lot of chuckles out of them. Well, OP, at least they're going along with it and hopefully it'll work out. Now, regarding Pavlov, I've got a small joke. Hopefully you guys find it as funny as I do. So Pavlov goes to a restaurant and he sits down when the cook is putting out an order and rings the bell. And that's when Pavlov says, "Damn, I forgot to feed the dog." And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.